Hello, I am Darlene Zangara. I am the Executive Director for MNCDHH. Today we will provide 2 batches of presentation reports. In one report, we'll introduce our draft strategic goals, and the staff on our team will provide presentations. Can we go to the next slide, please? You will notice the word ends on this slide. It's an important word for you to remember. The board developed the ends. You can find them in your document. The board can find the list of ends in your policy booklet. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. Each of the 4 sections have a list of ends. We will explain what results we will achieve for who and what happened. Next slide. I just explained the ends. Internally, our team studied the ends. After careful consideration, we decided what our strategic plan would look like. We needed to match the ends to determine exactly what activities we would do. Now I will explain that we have 5 strategic goals. Right now, it is a draft. Over the next 2 months, we will survey the community and people and make sure we are on the right track. Allow me to explain the 5 goals. Goal number 1. Build a collective sense of community. We have 3 goals under this one. Number 1, build post-pandemic relationships and strengthen community engagement. Number 2, collect and report input from communities. Number 3, we will support community partners' capacity needs. Goal number 2, 3 branches of government will make, enact, and enforce well-informed decisions. This has 3 goals. 1, we will provide technical assistance and engage in systems advocacy. The technical assistance is for all branches of government. Number 2, research and develop legislative actions. 3, initiate and track policy and legislation. Next slide. Goal number 3, build public awareness. That has 3 areas we are focusing on. 1, provide presentations and trainings through conferences and events. 2, implement communication strategy for communication access and equal opportunity. 3, increase visibility for systems advocacy and legislation. Goal number 4, improve well-being and quality of life. This has 4 areas to work on. 1, we will support barrier-free employment. 2, improve educational outcomes. 3, enhance system to support healthy aging. 4, increase the usage of communication access technologies. Now, goal number 5 is on the next slide. Goal number 5, strengthen our organization. These have 3 items. 1, we will continuously revisit and, if needed, adapt our processes. 2, use results based accountability, RBA, as a part of our goal tracking. This is a measuring tool. 3, we will streamline efforts to produce effective monitoring reports, financial processes, and internal operations. These are our 5 strategic goals. As a result, I explained this is a draft. We will gather comments on if we are on the right path and if we need to change, improve, or add anything. We will share these responses next time. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Ann Sittner Anderson, Director of Communications at the Commission. Next slide, please. So my work is really connected to ENDS 1.3, Build Public Awareness. That is tied into goal number 3B, Implement Communication Strategy for Communication Access and Equal Opportunity. I'm sharing 5 activities I've worked on from July to August this year. First, thank you to the board for approving the expenses to run the closed caption ads on television and radio in partnership with the Minnesota Broadcasters Association. If you're interested in watching a copy of the ad, it is on the MNCDHH's YouTube account. Second, we signed up with the Access Press Directory of Organizations. Access Press is a Minnesota's disability communities news resource. We went through the RFP process for a communications contractor, which was awarded to Caitlin Millicky. We are now set to work together. I'm really excited about that. Thank you. And of course, I supported my co-workers with communication work from their engagement, education, and legislative needs. That work will always be continuous. Since March 2020, when COVID-19 pandemic appeared, I have been working on ensuring accessibility, communication access. That work will continue as well. Next slide. Every year I track projected numbers on our social media and our newsletters based on the baseline from previous years. In 2021, numbers so far are on track for the most part. Facebook is on track. We projected 3,000 likes, and we are currently at 2,846. Instagram numbers have already surpassed what were expected. We projected 250 followers, and we are currently at 294. Twitter is on track. We projected 750 followers, and we are at 745. YouTube is on track. We projected 650 followers, and we are currently at 617. This year has been really surprising. This year with Granicus, which is we send our newsletter through, we are behind. We expected 8,000 subscribers, but we are at 7,006. I think a big part of that is because we are not going in person to events due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now it is time for the next person. Thank you. Goodbye. Hello, I'm Jesselyn Ackerman Frank. I am the Community and Civic Engagement Director. Next slide, please. ENDS 1.1, Collective Sense of Community and Solidarity. I have 6 activities. First, we worked to recruit diverse community members to include rural Minnesota, BIPOC, LGBTQ, deaf and hard of hearing, deaf-blind, and hard of hearing members for contract opportunities with our civic and community engagement work. Number 2, we established 4 focus groups. Those are BIPOC, deafblind, LGBTQ, and hard of hearing. Third, for the focus groups I just mentioned, we also recruited members. We are still searching for members to be involved in these groups. Fourth, MNCDHH team worked together to develop questions, gather the answers, and feedback we need from the community. Number 5, we provided some input through different meetings that focused on testing ballots for accessibility. Our lead for that is a deafblind individual. This group or organization is looking for more information on how they can become more accessible for deafblind at the ballots. And finally, number 6, we established partnerships with Rev Up Minnesota to collaborate on voter outreach work. Now we want to partner with other organizations to make sure that people know about our work. Maybe those organizations work with deaf people, deafblind, or hard of hearing, and would benefit from our information. Next slide. Demographics. We have posted RFPs to support community and civic engagement. We included all and are welcoming all people to apply. We identified gaps in representation and extended contracting opportunities to close gaps. We will continue to recruit and offer opportunities. Next slide. When we posted, we hope to have had bids from representatives from all the gaps, but we did not receive any from rural community members. We will continue to work on strategies to recruit more people from Greater Minnesota. This is an important group of people to have involved in our work. Next, based on observations and discussions, we believe that contractors representing specific communities would serve lead in our rooms. Focus groups, and input activities instead of myself leading. I asked specific individuals if they would be willing to lead specific groups. We feel this is the best approach to gather the information and input we need. Next, also based on observations, COVID-19 significantly impact our in-person engagement work. We value our interactive engagement work and the community feeling connected. As a result of COVID-19, we had to brainstorm on how to engage using virtual platforms. We understand it's beneficial to make sure that all could participate remotely, especially for those who could not physically travel distances or travel to meetings. There were positives and negatives, but we will continue to work on brainstorming success. Hello, I'm Alicia Lane Outlaw. I'm the Government Relations Director. Next slide. Notice on the top of the slide it says Government Relations Activity. I have 2 to discuss today. One covers the recent 2021 legislative session. The second relates to preparing for the upcoming 2022 session. This slide covers this recent session, analyzing the results of the 2021 legislative session. It is tied to 2 ends. 1.2, all 3 branches of state government make, enact, and enforce well-informed decisions impacting this community. And 1.4, improved well-being and quality of life. Now, the strategic goals that are tied with this work are goal number 2B, research and develop legislative activities, and goal number 2C, initiate and track policy and legislation. And goal number 4B, improve educational outcomes. Next slide, please. So here are the activities that I did as part of analyzing the results of the 2021 session. I met with bill authors, advocates, and administrators to debrief on still pending bills and explore potential future legislation that is ongoing. Second, along with Collaborative Plan Director, we met with stakeholders to review legislation status and explore strategies for improving educational outcomes. Three, I analyzed additional still pending bills potentially impacting constituents that may need support from the Commission. That is ongoing. Next slide. The second activity is preparation for 2022. I gathered stakeholder input on potential 2022 issues. The following ends are tied in. 1.1, collective sense of community and solidarity. 1.2, all three branches of state government make, enact, and enforce well-informed decisions. 1.3, public awareness of deaf, deafblind, and hard of hearing community and the accommodations that may be needed for them to participate in society. There are several strategic goals listed as a result of these activities. Goal number 1A, build post-pandemic relationships and strengthen community engagement. Goal number 1B, collect and report input from communities. Goal number 2B, research and develop legislative actions. Goal number 3C, increase visibility for systems advocacy and legislation. Next slide. Next, I will explain how we plan to accomplish these goals. First, we develop a plan for gathering input on 2022 legislative agenda with Civic and Community Engagement Director. That plan includes one-on-one meetings with representatives of various stakeholder groups. 2, focus groups, which Jesselyn recently explained. 3, we will develop a public online survey. And 4, we'll explore possibilities of town hall meetings to collect feedback on the agenda. Second, we began developing preliminary survey questions. We have done some one-on-one meetings with those, and that will continue. attended community events virtually to gather ideas for community needs. Fifth, created a list of continuing and potential legislative agenda items, and I will expand more in the next slide. Okay, I am covering two lists of possible legislative activities. First, the Commission may continue to support some legislative items from the 2021 legislative agenda. Here are a few examples. Require closed captioning in public places. Establish interpreter licensure board. Define deaf-blind intervener in educational law. Now, of those three, please see the Government Relations Report for the full list. Next slide. The second list, I do not come up with ideas for legislative activities myself. Instead, I assess and collect ideas. This list has possible legislative opportunities that are an impact. So I look at them. Are they already in existing bills that we might not be involved in but could impact our community? I assess if we should get involved. 2, have been requested by the stakeholders. And 3, have expert advocates ready to partner with the Commission. I assess if we should grab the opportunity to work with those experts. So here are a few examples. Requiring telecoil, T-coil education by providers. 2, strengthen language acquisition tracking in early intervention. 3, improve ASL teacher licensure. 4, require disability impact statement prior to sentencing in court. I encourage board members to review the bills. The numbers are HF, House File 1362, SF, Senate File 1961. Again, the full list is available in the Government Relations Report. The board can review the list of ideas on their own time. The list will be continuously updated as additional community input is gathered through one-on-one meetings, the focus groups, etc. Well, that's my report. Thank you. Hello, I'm Danelle Granaris. I am the new Collaborative Plan Program Director. The ENDS goal is also linked to our Collaborative Plan 2.0 CP for Collaborative Plan. The Collaborative Plan already has its own goals or strategic plan, which aligns with the ENDS. CP 2.0 has already created to plan ahead from 2019 to 2024. It's a 5-year plan. In CP 2.0, it lists 4 strategic plan approaches. The first goal is to increase consistency and organization of resources to ensure children and families have access. Early in 2021, MNCDHH hired Wilder Research Project to study deaf-blind children, youth, and identify gaps and needs. The research project is complete and the research is written. It is titled Supporting Deafblind Children and Youth in Minnesota, a Strategic Plan to Move Forward. That report will be distributed or released in mid-September. We've been busy planning how and where to distribute the information. It will be shared on both a national and statewide level. I've also worked with the Minnesota Department of Health early intervention coordinators like low incident project specialists for Part C, early intervention team, to check communication opportunities page, which is part of a binder. Our team reviews and agrees the information can be included. Parents of babies who are newly identified as deaf or hard of hearing receive a resource binder, which includes pages on communication opportunities. It is sent by the Minnesota Department of Health, Low Incidence Project, and the Minnesota Hands and Voices. It is posted online and also printed and physically distributed. The second strategic plan item for CP 2.0 is, can we go to the next slide, please? Collaborate and network across stakeholder groups to ensure programs and services are supporting, not duplicating each other's work. This addresses the 5 collaborative work groups. We will continue the collaborative work group. The groups are birth to age 5, kindergarten to grade 4, grades 5 to 8, and 9th grade to transition. And we have a new group working on deaf-blind study. The deaf-blind group will structure their work based on the research study. We expect that their work will continue for the next few years. The 5 work groups will continue to work on their goals. Next slide. The third CP goal for the collaborative plan is to promote mental health and using the whole child approach to help children develop a strong identity and ability to self-advocate. I've already contacted 2 mental health agencies in Minnesota. They are Volunteers of America, VONA, and Therapeutic Services Agency, TSA. They are strong supporters of deaf and hard of hearing children and serve all of our children in Minnesota. We've begun conversations about how to measure social emotional needs. That work is in progress. The 4th strategy under the collaborative plan is to assess and address licensure and qualifications. MNCDHH has already identified bills and policies. I've reached out to stakeholders who want a bill to go through. There are 3 bills: deaf and hard of hearing teacher licensure, educational interpreter / certified deaf interpreter CDI amendment to improve educational interpreter skills, and Third, ASL teacher licensure to ensure that they are qualified to become a teacher for school-age students, typically in high school. I met with different stakeholders to gather their thoughts and concerns so we can work collaboratively. This work is ongoing. Last, we are working on demographics and results. I continue to monitor the ECLD and SLEDs longitudinal data collection from birth to graduation and work to see how things are going. This work is continual. Thank you for watching my report. Hello, I will be presenting on strengthening our organization. I'm Katie Kelly Rademacher. I am the Administrative and Logistics Coordinator at the Commission. Goal number 5, strengthening our organization. There are 3 activities to share. We discussed, developed, and implemented the draft strategic goals, such as what the staff has explained so far. Next steps for goals, MNCDH will collect community input in the next few months. We conducted an analysis of the RFP, request for proposal process for contractors. We noticed some barriers, and we needed to address to ensure equity and accessibility. We set up a new monitoring report format. Our executive director will use it to include PowerPoint, graphics, and live presentations to provide clear information for the board. Fourth, we piloted a new reporting process for ends and strategic goals. How we collect and share this information with the board. The activities will be by way that we do this. The information collected on the forms include the activities, the ends, the goals, materials, who is involved, who's running or coordinating it will be included, and what percentage will be included. That will be part of the report process. The results we'll use as a results-based accountability, RBA, and then we will share this with the board. All the reports and PowerPoints will be found on Onboard, the platform that we recently started using. The board can find the information there at any time. We will also post the reports on the website for the public to access. We currently are testing this approach to present our reports and track data. If you have any ideas or feedback, please contact me. I will be managing all the data. Thank you. Goodbye.